In the vast wilderness of southern Africa, where golden grasslands stretch as far as the eye can see, a male lion and a female lioness roam together, bound not only by survival, but by a deep, silent bond. For many years, they hunted side by side, relying on each other as they moved through the savannah. But as seasons changed and the earth dried beneath their feet, life became more difficult. Waterholes vanished. Prey became scarce. The territory they once ruled began to fade beneath the pressure of climate and time. Driven by instinct and the urgent need for safety, the lion pair left behind the only land they had ever known. They began a journey across vast plains, traveling miles under the burning sun. Nights brought their own threats, prowling predators, unseen dangers, and chilling winds. Yet through it all, the male stood alert, protecting his companion while she rested each night, her body gradually showing signs of change. After many days, they finally arrived at Koda National Park, a place known for its protected lands and rich ecosystems. Tall trees, flowing rivers, and scattered herds welcomed them. But unfamiliar sights surrounded them: metal fences, watchtowers, vehicles they could not understand. Still they stayed, quietly adapting to the strange but fertile ground. Inside the park, two staff members, Sipho, a patrol officer with years of experience, and Nomsa, an observant wildlife researcher, noticed unusual signs. Large paw prints circled the central riverbank. They studied the patterns with growing interest, realizing that a new lion pair had entered the reserve. Curious but cautious, Sipho and Nomsa began observing the newcomers from a distance. The male lion often roared at dusk, asserting his presence. The lioness appeared uneasy, pacing near the river. Still, both looked strong, able to hunt smaller prey. Yet Nomsa noticed something else. The lioness's movement had slowed. Her steps seemed more deliberate. Her body appeared heavier. Nomsa shared her thoughts with Sipho. She believed the lioness might be pregnant. Sipho nodded, confirming he too had seen the subtle changes. The male lion had become more protective, staying close to her, scanning the surroundings more often than before. If their instincts were correct, this could be an important moment for the park's conservation efforts. Weeks passed. The lioness's belly grew, her breath became slower, her energy dipped. The signs were clear: she was preparing for birth. Sipho readied emergency supplies, just in case nature needed a helping hand. Nomsa, notebook in hand, continued documenting every shift in behavior. Hope filled the air. Then came a troubling turn. One morning, the lioness lay in the tall grass, groaning softly. Hours passed. Then a full day. Still, there was no birth. Her eyes dulled with pain, her body shook with each failed attempt. The male lion circled her, distressed but unable to help. Sipho and Nomsa watched, concerned. The situation was growing dire. They faced a terrifying challenge. Sedating the lioness could endanger her unborn cubs. Tranquilizing the male could make her panic. They had to rely on instinct and courage. After a long discussion, they chose to intervene, quietly, carefully, respectfully. Sipho started the engine and drove slowly toward the lions. As they neared, the male stood tall, eyes locked on the vehicle. He let out a low, threatening growl, mane raised. The lioness stayed still, her body barely moving. Nomsa whispered that they had no time left. Sipho stepped out of the car, steady and calm. Nomsa followed, holding a medical bag. The grass rustled beneath their feet. The air was tense. One wrong move, and everything could collapse. The male lion stepped forward, blocking their path. But he did not attack. Perhaps he sensed their intention. Perhaps the lioness's suffering had reached him deeply. Nomsa approached slowly, her voice soft, speaking gently to the lioness. The lioness looked up, her eyes weary but calm. She did not run. She did not resist. Kneeling beside her, Nomsa carefully administered a supportive injection to help with the birthing process. The lioness flinched, but remained in place. Sipho stood nearby, watching every movement of the male lion, who paced back and forth but never lunged. Then they waited. 2 hours passed. The sun dipped lower. The sky began to turn gold. The lioness began to push. Her body trembled. Her cries filled the air. Finally, with a final groan, a small cub entered the world, fragile and trembling. The male stepped closer. He sniffed the newborn, then licked its tiny body. The lioness, exhausted, lowered her head to her cub, nuzzling it gently. A soft purr escaped her, the sound of relief and joy. Nomsa smiled through quiet tears. Sipho watched in silence, his heart full. They did not speak. They backed away, giving the family space. The lions had accepted their presence. Trust had been built in silence. That night, back at the outpost, Nomsa named them. The male lion she called Koda, for courage. The lioness she named Leya, for hope. The cub, Mosi, for new beginnings. The following day, as Sipho and Nomsa passed by again, they saw the family resting on a hill. Koda stood tall, his eyes following the car, but no growl came. Leya lay beside him, calm and strong. Mosi, tiny and full of life, played near her paws, exploring the world with clumsy curiosity. Time moved on. Mosi grew quickly. He learned to stalk. He mimicked his father's roar. He followed his mother through the grass. Koda remained a guardian. Leya stayed near, never far from her cub. Each time the patrol vehicle appeared, the lions would look up. There was no fear in their eyes, only calm recognition. A silent nod to those who had helped in a moment of great need. Sipho wrote in his logbook, marking Mosi's birth as a milestone in the park's history. Nomsa often visited the same spot, watching the lion family thrive. The bond they had built remained. Seasons changed again. Grass grew tall. Rivers swelled. Mosi became strong, learning the ways of the wild. Koda and Leya remained side by side, fierce yet gentle. The story of their family spread throughout the park. Visitors spoke of them. Rangers shared their tale. It became a symbol of trust, of connection, of what happens when courage meets compassion. And every time the sun set behind the trees and the wind carried the sounds of the savannah, one could hear Koda's soft growl, Leya's purr, and the playful rustle of Mosi's footsteps, reminders of a day when two humans stepped into the wild not to take, but to give.